It's your boy Conservates34, and today I just wanted to make a reaction video to a wonderful article written by professional women's hockey player Saroya Tinker entitled "Why the Black Girl Hockey Club Matters." And shout out to the Black Girl Hockey Club. I have been a Patreon supporter of that amazing group for, I think it's been about 8 months now, if not longer. Shout out to Saroya Tinker. She is a talented young black hockey player, and she's not only that, she's a Yale graduate. She also is an amazing artist. If you check her out on Instagram, she's got a lot of photos that she'll put up of art that she does, and she's an activist too. And I remember she was doing some awesome things as far as in the wake of George Floyd, and even after that, just to raise awareness, have some rallies out there in Canada. So she is a wonderful young lady who is doing a lot of great things, is intelligent, is very determined, and she is not afraid to take a stand. And I even think about this current year in the NWHL, some of the stances she took, the backlash she took from the certain people and detractors, and being so bold, unlike anyone else before her. And I think about what would this NWHL season have been without her taking a stand. So when I saw her article was on the Players Tribune today, I was like, I gotta make a reaction video, and I really have to read this. And if you want to support Saroya Tinker, the NWHL, this is an awesome shirt you can buy. Metropolitan Riveters. This is a team out of Jersey, that she plays for. She just finished what will probably be her rookie season in total if they don't resume the bubble tournament, which is right now just on hold for safety reasons. And I think that's a great thing. Safety definitely is first. But you can buy these shirts, and they also have jerseys, other apparel. The shirts that have the last names on them, like this Tinker jersey, Saroya Tinker's jersey, got to represent you. A portion of it goes towards the players, so it's awesome. I have this one. I'm a Connecticut Well fan, being in Connecticut, so of course I got my Brookville Lako jersey as well in the closet. Support women's hockey. Now, that said, we want to talk about this article. Saroya Tinker talks about why the Black Girl Hockey Club matters, and she starts off by sharing her life, early life as a young black hockey player, and some of the things she faced being biracial, and people, the way things people called her, and also just the fact that she was a young black woman who faced people calling her the N-word, calling her other stuff. And what do you do? What do you do? Because here's the thing, as someone who grew up playing hockey here in Connecticut, when you're the only black person in the locker room of a sport that is predominantly white, and while it's slightly changing, it's still predominantly white, you don't know if you can take a stand for yourself. Will you be blackballed? Will your coaches bench you? You don't know. And thankfully for me, my coaches were zero tolerance. And I found that out not because I had the courage to speak up, because my teammates spoke up for me and kicked this kid off the team. But in Saroya's situation, this is what's heartbreaking, because I know what it's like to go through racism, but eventually people get consequences. There weren't consequences for players who said stuff to her. And she's younger than me. I'm 30 and she's in her early 20s. So I thought, hey, my thing was, when I was playing hockey growing up, I was like, okay, I'm facing this ignorance, but you know what? It's going to get better. And Saroya, who comes up a little bit after me and plays women's hockey, faces things worse than I faced. And the same thing happened to my little brother. And this is really what frustrates me, what makes me every day try to encourage these young kids, that I thought, okay, I'll be the mortar. They can say whatever they can to me. But when I hear stories like my brother, who faced more racism, more blatant racism than me, 4 years younger than me, and when Saroya, who's, just about, maybe like, I think 7 or 8 years younger than me, when I'm hearing stories from them and from other parents through the Black Girl Hockey Club sharing their experiences, it breaks my heart that they're facing things in some situations that were worse than me back in the late 90s, in the turn of the century. And that's what you experience by reading this article. There weren't any repercussions for some of the things she went through. And people talk about cancer culture. All people like Saroya and even me, when I was playing, all we want is consequence culture. We want consequences for what we go through when we hear stories of other players that go through things that are from a racial side or from a sexual orientation or a gender side. We just want, there should be consequences for the people who do these things. Like when Akeem Alou speaks up and people are bashing him and there's no the consequences had to be fought for the people who made these decisions, and they didn't come for years after them. All black players want, all we want is for consequences for those who say stuff hateful to us. And it's just starting to be brought to light because of awesome people like Saroya Tinker. And I think about the NWHL bubble this year. If she didn't speak up, I can't even imagine the conversation this year wouldn't have gone as far as it went. The exposure to some of the things that the reason why people are fed up, like Saroya, rightfully so, is fed up when it comes to being a player of color and some of the injustices on and off the ice. There's a reason why these things are, why we're so frustrated. And if you listen and if you get uncomfortable and you really let us tell it like it is, you'll understand why and understand perspective. And that's all that players of color want. And I think black girls, and especially this article, there's a reason why the Black Girl Hockey Club exists. And really, it's because there's not enough support. There's a lot of hatred and racism for these young black girls. I think of Blake Bolden sharing her story as well on different podcasts. And then when I hear Saroya and then Sarah Nurse sharing some things as well, there's a reason why this club exists. And the awesome thing that you'll see in this article, the Black Girl Hockey Club raises scholarships not only for black girls, but they've also helped out some young black boys too, just because there was a parent who said, hey, I need this for camp. Hey, I need to go. There's a special development camp. I can't afford it. And they got this parent some money, and there was pictures of him at the camp. So the main thing is to help these black women, because we need more of them in this sport of hockey, and black men as black boys too. We need them in the sport. But the thing is, the black girls, they need this. They need the support. They need the scholarships. One of the things the article talks about, how hockey is not cheap. And in many areas where there are higher population minorities, the income is different. So to have these scholarships are great. Saroya talks about not having a really new pair of skates until she got to Yale, right? So she's in Division I college. That's the first time she has new skates. And that's so real. I mean, I even think about when I was coming up the ranks of hockey, I was getting hand-me-down skates, or I had to buy a less superior version of skates. And while, in basketball, you may buy a pair of Jordans or Adidas, like the best pair that you can buy performance-wise may only be $150, $200. A really good pair of skates is well over, back in my day, it was over $500. And now it's over $1,000, literally, for a pair of skates that's really going to help you compete at the highest level. Hand-me-down skates are harder to skate in. And even the skates I would buy $200 and $300 saving all summer to help pitch in because my parents were paying for everything else. Some of these skates, I had to use them for years and years. They don't perform like the $1,000 or at my time, $500 skates. And that's a huge thing, right? You can play basketball in a bad pair of sneakers and be good. If you don't have the right blades in hockey, you're not going to make it. And I think this club, this is why I support it as a Patreon member, and also why I look to help fundraise when I can, here and there, when I get a little bit of extra money, when I know I'm blessed and can give to others, these young black girls, to see some of the pictures and see what they're doing and read the bios of how great they're doing on and off the ice. The Black Girl Hockey Club does matter. And the one thing she did, the article is really specific on certain things, but one thing she talks about is the Get Uncomfortable campaign, and how the Black Girl Hockey Club, one of the biggest things that they've done is they've shaken up the status quo. Meaning they've added NHL teams Why aren't you doing stuff for Black History Month? Why aren't you acknowledging your players of color that have come from the past? Why aren't you acknowledging players in your city of color who are coming up? And lo and behold, as I've literally seen this on social media in real time in the last year or so, teams are responding to it, and now they are posting Black History Month. Not only that, LGBTQ equality, all these things. A lot of this has to do with the power of the Black Girl Hockey Club getting with the NHL, getting exposure, and then using that platform to speak out and call out these teams to say, hey, if you're really about this life, where's your promotion? Where's your encouragement to showcase the diversity in the sport? Where is your warm-up jerseys? Where is this and that? And even now there's a collaboration that had just been completed where Willie O'Ree skates were going to be worn by certain players this month. That's because of the push of not only the Black Girl Hockey Club, but the Black Girl Hockey Club is the catalyst behind that. And the article is amazing. You should check out the Black Girl Hockey Club. I will post them here below. And you should check out Saroya Tinker, because these women in this club, and I've sat in on some of the different Zoom and webinars that they've had. They are doing great things to promote the sport. And they're also great fans. And they're creating also, there's a lot of Black hockey fans who are afraid to go to games. And they've been able to go to different cities pre-COVID and allow fans to feel comfortable. Hey, come sit with us. Come sit with the crew. And it's not just Black people, white, whatever, gay, straight, whatever, wherever you come from. They have created safe havens and sections where everyone comes together. They allow you to get tickets with the group and even have some special behind the scenes access with some of the players before or after some of these games. This club is doing great things. I could talk about it all day, but I will post a link below to the Black Girl Hockey Club. Saroya, we are all proud of you. You have done so many bold and brave things that no one before you in the National Women's Hockey League has done. And that's not to knock any of the other women before them, but it's hard. It's not easy. And the courage that Saroya has to be so young, right? And to make waves, to make this article, it's a beautiful thing. Support women, support Black women, support hockey for all minorities, because if you do, you're going to make this game a better game. You're going to make this game a place truly for all people. And the fight does not stop until hockey truly is for everyone in every way. It's your boy ConstantViz34. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Peace.